reflection. You can work as a group for the first part of the lesson. And then I will give you guys individual time to log out and work on this yourselves. Okay, so I'm going to copy the prompts from the Manage Back task, okay, bimester 3 reflection. So I've got a Google Doc here. I'm not going to share the Google Doc, but if you want to take down notes as we're going or screenshots, feel free to do that. Okay, would anyone like to help me with the first prompt? What content, skills, and concepts did you learn this bimester? Let's start with content, shall we? Would anyone like to tell me, did we learn any particular content this bimester?
The Pearl Harbor attack.
Okay, so we looked at the Pearl Harbor attack. Yeah, definitely.
The Manchurian crisis.
Manchurian crisis, certainly.
International response.
Ooh, international response. So we looked at different perspectives behind this series of historical events, certainly. Thanks, Federico. Fernando?
The Second Sino-Japanese War.
Yeah, we looked at Sino-Japanese wars, didn't we? We looked at 1 and 2, right? The Roman numerals there. Anything else, guys?
Maybe Japan's expansionism.
Ooh, okay, so that brings it all together, doesn't it? So the main hook or the main overarching element was the Japanese expansionism. Yes, sir. All right, thank you, Fernando. Okay, moving on. Let's look at some skills. Now think of the summative tasks that we had this bimester, guys. What sort of skills were being asked of you?
Perspective.
Sorry, one more time.
Like the perspectives, the different concept of the perspectives and sources.
Yeah, look, why don't I put concepts here? So we can definitely we definitely looked at perspectives for sure, certainly. Maite, you said something about sources. So we did source analysis, right?
Yeah, like compare and contrast.
Oh, excellent. Okay, so we looked at compare and contrast. Great. 2 different sources, fantastic. Can anyone tell me any other skills that we looked at?
Using your own knowledge and then synthesizing using the sources.
Knowledge and the sources. Yeah, great. Tony, can you help me out? Another skill that we used in the summative task? No. Rocio, can you tell me another skill that we used in the summative task? I'll give you a clue. OPVLs, what do you have to do in that situation?
Analyze.
Yeah, we need to evaluate something beginning with V and L. Do you remember?
Not really.
Not sure? Okay, let me try someone else in the group, shall we? Thomas A, can you help me out? We need to evaluate something beginning with V and L with the sources.
Values and limitations.
Excellent. Evaluating values and limitations. Thank you, young man. Fix my spelling here. Thank you, Google. Okay, and can anyone remember the first skill that we practiced in the summative? In fact, we had 2 chances at this task. The most basic of the source analysis skills that you need to demonstrate.
Reference to the source.
Yeah, a little more. Okay, you certainly need to reference the source when you respond, but the first task, beginning with you have to something the source. Mercedes, do you know?
Is it understanding the source?
It is, thank you, Samantha. Understanding the source, yes. But as Mercedes indicated, yeah, you do need to clearly reference the source in all of these source analysis skills. Nice work. Did we practice any other skills, guys? Was it just source analysis kind of through writing, or did we look at any other skills? Sam, do you want to go again?
I think maybe like working together as a team, because we worked like not only in the summative assignments but also in the contributions. So
Ooh.
I think that was really good.
Okay, you mentioned something about contributions, Sam. What did we host each week?
Seminar.
Yeah, so we had our seminars, right? And you're right, we had hosts. And can you just remind me, Sam, what did hosts do in these seminars?
Yeah, they basically like controlled and explained what they were going to talk about and let others participate in the discussion.
Did these hosts, did they need to demonstrate their understanding in any way, Samantha?
Well, yeah, they give a little recap at the start, which is like the way for like demonstrating that they did understand what they were talking about.
Yeah. How did hosts help scaffold understanding, guys? Were any clues or tactics that hosts use to help the group understand the discussion?
They showed
Did any
like,
groups? Oh, sorry, go for it, Michelle.
they showed like word boxes and like things that could help you in the sources and some pictures.
Excellent. So sources were displayed and annotated to draw attention to particular features. Yeah, nice. Of the sources. Great. So we had a host, guys. Was there another role that we had in these seminars?
Contributors.
Yeah, we had contributors. Great. And Mercedes, what did they need to do?
Well, depending on the seminar, they had to participate referencing to the source or the other skills mentioned before.
Yeah. And how did we make sure the conversation flowed? What did people need to do straight away?
Mention their team, the people they were working with.
Great. And what else? Something to really help the discussion flow and connect to what was said before.
And make a reference to the question.
Yeah, certainly. Yeah. Something else. Beginning with a P.
Paraphrasing.
Yeah, paraphrasing. What's that?
Like interpreting knowledge in your words.
Yeah, definitely. And using what was said by the person before you to show that you're listening and that you're adding something fresh to the conversation. Yeah, thanks, Mercedes. All right, guys, they are some of the skills that we looked at, okay? And I like it how students are understanding how some of those are formative, like we practice those, particularly in the seminar. And then we have kind of the source analysis, written summative tasks. Nice, okay, good to see students understanding the difference there. Okay, let's move on to concepts. Now, I think it was Maite who mentioned something about perspectives. Can anyone think of any other big ideas that we looked at in this Japanese expansionism unit? Why don't I ask a student? Federico, can you think of a concept that we looked at in the Japanese expansionism unit? Having some technical problems there. Gustavo, do you want to help us out?
Yeah, it could be like contrast of sources.
Yeah, look, I guess that's more a skill in this instance, Gustavo. Can you think of some of the big kind of ideas that we looked at in relation to Japanese expansionism, though? Gustavo, what's another word for expansionism that we've looked at in history class?
I don't remember.
Beginning with I?
It is, no, sorry, I don't remember anything.
I'll give you a clue. Remember how we looked at mania in World War One? What did I stand for?
No, I don't remember.
You're going to kick yourself. Would someone like to help me out? What's that word beginning with I?
Imperialism.
Imperialism, yes. Okay,
Oh.
another. Hey, Gustavo, you've got a chance to redeem yourself. What usually goes hand in hand with imperialism beginning with N?
I mean, apart from it also goes globalization and probably.
Yeah, globalization.
Yeah.
We definitely. Which group was created, Gustavo, following World War One to help in this move to globalization?
It was League of Nations, right?
League of Nations. Yeah, that's right. Rocio, maybe you can help me out. Can you tell me a concept, a big concept that we looked at beginning with N? Beginning with N? It's really connected to imperialism.
Nationalism.
Yeah, nationalism. Nice work. Excellent job. Yes. Okay, guys, perspectives, forms. Does anyone remember? Beginning with C, our key. Our key concepts. Yeah. So we have perspectives. Can anyone else think of another key concept that we've looked at in class? Fernando?
Consequences.
Yeah, consequences. Thank you, Fernando. Hey, Lara. Fernando, did you want to say something?
I was gonna say consequences, but maybe then like causes.
Ooh, nice. Okay, so there are more there, but you get the idea where they are coming from. Okay, folks, let's have a look at the next prompt. Provide evidence that shows the extent to which you achieved these. Do you guys get any feedback in class? Any evidence of how you are learning, how you are performing?
Yes.
Okay, Mercedes, how do you know how you are going in class? What feedback do you get?
On the comments you leave us on the tasks we submit.
Yeah, and Mercedes, these comments are typically connected to what? Do I just invent these comments or do I get them from somewhere?
From the criteria.
Criteria, okay. Right. Sam, did you want to say something?
Yeah, also the comments you make like on the chat in the seminars and the discussions.
Okay. All right. Do I give any verbal feedback, guys? Has anyone received verbal feedback from me?
At the end of like the discussions, when you say like congratulations to the contributors, and then after when you're alone with the hosts.
Yeah, what happens then? What do we do with the host, Samantha? What do I explain or go through?
You go through the criterias of like the hostings, and you tell us like what we got and how we did.
Is it just me giving the feedback or do students kind of help me come to a grade or a decision?
No, students also help you, and then you finally give them like the final grade.
Yeah, I kind of like that bit, how students get to plead their case as it is. They certainly get to justify the grade they deserve, without a doubt. Okay, guys, is it just the teacher? Is it just me giving you feedback, or do you guys get ideas from different sources, different places? Michelle, do you get feedback from just me, or do you get it from other people in the classroom?
I don't know. I think just you. I don't know. I don't remember getting feedback from anyone else.
What about in a discussion, Michelle? Have you ever listened to someone's idea and thought, actually, that's something I could use in my own work?
Oh yeah, like when someone's saying like something important, when you like, they base like what they're saying based on what you just said. That's kind of helpful sometimes.
Yeah, you kind of get some nice feedback there, don't you? If somebody paraphrases you and they agree with what you said, you kind of think, wow, okay, maybe I'm on the right track. Yeah, definitely. Yeah. Or if people may disagree with you, then you have to maybe change your tact or justify yourself. It keeps you accountable, right? Okay, so learning from peers in discussions and teamwork, I think, was mentioned earlier by a couple of students. All right, what about the sources, guys, the historical evidence? Does that help your understanding at all? Does that give you feedback on how you can shape your ideas and how to help your research?
Yeah, like it gives you a more clear idea. Like during class we talk about it, but when you read, you get more in depth to the information given.
Yeah, it's kind of like we start fairly general in the presentation, and then we get a little more specific with the readings, and then we have the discussion. We get a little more specific, and then the summative. You kind of have a pretty clear idea of the topic or the skill. Yes, thanks, Maria Laura. Right. The final bit is indicate your next steps, guys. Okay, this is very personal. This is a chance for you to work out, okay, how have I gone this bimester? What would I like to improve? And how am I going to improve? Like, what am I going to do to